Independent grind powered by Tech Nine.
All right, cool. So thank you for joining us, man. We're going to go ahead. We'll just start from the beginning. You can tell us how you got into music, where you're from, all that good stuff.
All right, cool. Where do I start? Mom's a gospel singer. Dad was a rapper before he got locked up. So just got off the phone with my dad the other day. I had a show the other night, and it was a malfunction during the performance. And he was like, well, at least you finished. It wasn't your fault. But I'm like, yeah, at the very end, it made me look bad. He was like, let me tell you the story when I had a show with Tupac. So I was like, damn, that's pretty dope that Pops did a couple shows with Tupac and like Heavy D and stuff. So
yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, wow, I can't believe like, your dad would just all of a sudden spring that on you. Like, yeah, I did a show with Tupac once upon a time.
Because he told me one story about him, and this was funny because this is before Straight Outta Compton came out. About Tupac and the whole Eazy-E. And when they came to Cincinnati in the movie, it was pretty dope because my dad told me the story 2 weeks before the movie came out. So it was just like, I know he wasn't lying, but it was just funny while I'm watching the movie, like, yo, this is the scene where my dad was, you know what I'm saying? But
where'd your dad grow up?
Dayton.
Okay.
Yeah, my family's from Dayton. Mom married a military dude. Ex-stepdad, you know, so we lived in Texas, back and forth to Texas and Ohio. Then when I turned 19, I decided to chase my dream of, music, being an artist, being a creator, being creative, you know, that's my passion. So I turned down a scholarship, actually, yeah.
Is that something that, like, music, even at a young age, is that what you wanted to do, or did that just come, like, high school ages?
I'm going to be honest, like, my mom never let me listen to the radio, and she always played her gospel music. And then when I went to Dad's house, it was the opposite. So it was just, I always was singing and rapping, and she tried to put me in the choir. That didn't work out. I didn't just feel comfortable in the choir because I'm like, this isn't what I want to do. It just didn't feel right. And so we did freestyle Thursdays in elementary and middle school, and then, you know, high school, Mom's moved me to the suburbs. She took me out of Dayton public schools, so I went from all black friends to all white friends, but it was dope because I got to see how both universes, how both sides live, you know. Yeah. And it gives me more to write about. So my following is predominantly mixed. I don't have just like one specific, you know, race. They're from all over, and it fits me. So I like it like that. So anyways, I turned 19 and I moved to the East Coast. I had $18,000 saved up, and I met a guy that told me what he can do for me, for my music. And basically, to make a long story short, he stole the money, and I got fired from my job. So I'm 10 hours away from home. Dad's locked up. I'm lying to Mom, telling her everything is all right, and I'm living out of my Buick. It's pretty crazy for 6 months, and I was just grinding my ass off, living in the Buick. Never went to sleep. Always out in New York, meeting people, networking, to the point where the DJs was like, "Yo, when do you go home?" And I don't have a home, so I'm not trying to, you know, not be out right now, you know, trying to make things happen. So, you know, I just kept it pushing, and a whole bunch of things happened. But to make a long story short, I eventually got myself on a tour with Mac Miller. And then I recently just got off a tour with Ugly God, which is pretty dope. And, yeah, man, so.
So why like New York area?
I live in North Jersey. I moved to North Jersey because I couldn't afford to live in New York.
Right.
You know, it was cheaper to live in Jersey, and then just, you know, I have a car, so, you know.
Did you have like connections up there, or was that you just knew that you wanted to be in the New York scene?
And I didn't know anybody, but what I knew was at 18, I'm the youngest general manager at LA Fitness. So what I did was I lied to the company and told them my family was moving here. So they transferred my job, and I just knew all the important people that walked in the gym in Ohio. Just imagine who, everybody needs to, not everybody, but somebody that knows somebody goes to the gym,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just played it smart, and I racked up a lot of contacts from the gym. I met a lot of important DJs that work out. So it was just like, that's how I got in all the clubs for free. So when I would want to go back to the club, the doorman already knew who I was. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So still to this. Go ahead.
How'd you get connected to with Mac Miller?
How did that happen? He signed. He did a $10 million deal with Warner Brother, I think, and then he signed an artist out of Chicago, and he put her on a tour. So somebody knew his people and was like, you should. I had a song with Fetty Wap called "Pretty Girl Dance." And actually, this is before Fetty Wap hopped on it. That's crazy. I'm just thinking about it. I had a song called "Pretty Girl Dance," and it was doing really good. And they were like, "Yo, you should go on this tour. You should go to every date that he's going on." And the guy that I was rocking with was rocking with some guy that he was rocking, that their company or whatever. So I just ended up being an opener, and I went to, six cities. Arizona, Boston, Pittsburgh, Cali.
Was that when he signed? Was that Nomja?
Naomza, yeah.
Naomza. Okay. I was gonna say I knew that he was like backing. I think I follow her on Instagram or something like that. But yeah, that's really dope. So when was that? About 2014?
Yeah, but I want to say a year and a half, 2 years ago. To be honest, maybe 3 years ago.
And then, so like during that time, do you have like a manager at this point? Are you kind of like, are you making any money off your music at that point? Or is that like your first in right there?
That was around my first in, because the song "Pretty Girl Dance" was buzzing really hard here in Jersey, and I was getting booked for it. So I was making a little money off of that. But what it did was I got to meet a lot of important people, but I never had a manager, really. I'm working on getting a manager now. I've been managing and PRing myself since I've started. A lot of people ask me, how did you get on the red carpet at the Image Awards and whatnot? I just meet people. I'm nice to them. They hear my music and they buy into me after they hear my music. So it's kind of like, I'm going, the same thing with Ugly God's a manager. He was just like, you're dope. We're about to go on tour. You can come along if you want. I'm like, don't tell me that, because I'll show up, So
were you more focused on recording, or were you, sort of focused on networking? Did you do both? I'm just curious, because I feel like now a lot of artists like put out a lot of music and that's their method, but it sounds like you were more focused on getting the right connections as opposed to like, releasing a lot of music.
The whole recording thing is kind of weird. I have one producer. I live in New Jersey. He lives in Ohio. And so it's 10 hours away, so I only work with him. So I'll drive 10 hours just to record 2 dope records. Like, I believe in, everybody has their own beliefs. I believe in, it's a lot of artists out here recording a bunch of records, and they think that's working hard, but nobody knows who they are. I just believe in recording a dope, undeniable record that this demographic is going to buy in. So let's drop this. And then I watched them buy into it. The Pretty Girl Dance, I knew the girls were going to love it. White, Asian, black, whatever. And then I knew the Kick Up record that I got my deal off of, I knew that the kids that dance on Instagram was going to eat it up. So when I dropped it, that's exactly what they did. That's where all my followers came from, to be honest.
I think that's like the misconception that people have, like with like SoundCloud and all that, is that they're like, well, if I drop enough music, like I'll eventually get noticed. And it's like, no, you just need to have good music and you will get noticed. Like, it'll spread that way. Like, if you have a dope record, it will spread.
Exactly. If you have a dope, catchy record, it doesn't really have to be any talent behind it. It's what you want the record to be honest. Does that make sense? Like, I know this record is going to go this far and it's for this demographic. So that's, I don't know. I guess I have a gift. So I wrote a record recently called Pokemon Go, because I woke up one day and I'm like, yo, the next person that posted a Pokemon that they caught, I'm unfollowing them. It was so annoying because I'm watching grown ass street dudes catch Pokemon, and it's like, are you shitting me? So it's like, okay, if the streets is okay with it, I'm not even a street dude, but okay, I know the kids love it. Let me be creative, and how can I take Pokemon and put it in a song where it's not corny, catchy, and so my producer's like, okay, if we do it, we're going to do it to a happy beat, like an ice cream truck beat, more kind of like a Broccoli I Spy beat. And I was like,
right.
So I came up with the hook. I don't know if I can use profanity, but basically I want to.
Yeah, you can.
I want to fuck and leave. I want to Pokemon and go. So I played off the game, and as soon as we dropped it, it just spread, and now I got mad fans from Russia, China, because the game is it's the biggest
everywhere.
It's the biggest seller of last year and this year already, and they just did an update like 4 days ago. I just saw. So
people are still playing that?
Yes, maybe. Man. And what's dope is my friend, he's a nerd. He plays the game. He told me, he was like, bro, you know why this game is going to be the biggest game for the next 3 or 4 years? I said, why? He said, because you can't catch all the Pokemon where you live. I said,
oh, yeah,
what?
Yeah.
So, like, if you travel out of town, I don't know, it's weird. So,
that's also the record you got Rich the Kid on?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So,
how's that relationship come?
It's cool. I mean, it was down to, I don't want to say any names. I don't make it. It was big names that we were reaching out to, and they wanted a certain amount of money. And even Lil Yachty cut me a deal, but the label was just like, nah, let's just, because they didn't really see the vision in the record like I did, which is cool. But we went with Rich the Kid. My bro is friends with him. He has him on speed dial, so he's like, yo, I'll do it for a discount, basically studio time. So I sent him the money, and he just so happened to be in Cali while I was visiting for the BET Awards. So I met up with him in the studio, and he did the verse right in front of me, and he stayed on topic. And then 3 days later, he signed a $2 million deal with Interscope. So it was like, damn, that was his last feature with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
How dope is that?
Yeah, that is crazy. So are you on a deal?
Yeah, I just recently signed with Empire.
Okay. How's that transition been?
Oh, man, Empire is great. They treat me right, They signed me off the record Kick Up. So they paid a video for that. I dropped an album with them. The album did really good. They put money behind a Friends with Benefits. That was pretty dope. But now this Pokemon Go record is still going, and it's just like we're trying to shoot a video for it. And we're getting a lyric video done, but I don't know if Rich the Kid is even allowed to do videos right now. So it's just, the politics, and once you sign to a major. And so, I mean, I can't.
Yeah, you mentioned. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask about that because, like you mentioned, wanting to work with Yachty, and the deal, the label sort of got in there, and then you talk about Rich the Kid. I guess what's that like, trying to reach out to those indie labels, and are you dealing with the artist directly? Are you dealing with a manager? Is it someone at the label? How does that process work? I'm
gonna be honest, bro. I just meet people that know people. Like my big bro is like Drake's tour DJ, so that's how I met Drake. You know what I'm saying? I know somebody that knows that person. I knew a lot of New York artists before they were bigger than they are today. I met Young and May. We dropped our records at the same time. Hers blew up. Congrats to her. With DJ Enough at his birthday. I dropped Kick Up and she dropped him. So, we followed each other. I met a lot. I met a lot of big names, so it's just like, so your question is how to What's your question? My fault.
I guess when you're reaching out to someone like a Little Yachty or a Rich the Kid, like what are you reaching out to them specifically, or does someone from the label? Because that's an interesting those guys are
when
sort
it came to Little Yachty, I got this girl that is in Canada. She's like this big A&R. She puts like big shows on. So all the big name artists, they want to make money in Canada. So she has her hands in that pot, and she heard my music and was like, "Yo, I can definitely see Yachty on this. I actually know him." And what's his DJ's name? What's his name? Purdy or something like that. His main.
Yeah, Burberry Perry.
Yeah, Perry. So she actually reached out to Perry, and Perry here's his personal email, like talk to him, and then she was like, "No, you ask him." So I got his personal email. I know now that's gonna get out, but he he got back to her. He was like, "Yo, I'll do it for a discount. I'll do it for this much." And then the label was just like, they were kind of scared of the record. I get it. So they was just like, "Nah, not for that much," But it was like, it's half of what he charges, but they weren't trying to hear it. So they were just like...
Do you sense any like drawback from I don't know around what time you were trying to get that feature, but like were they kind of on the fence of Little Yachty at the time, or had Little Yachty already blown up at this point?
Oh, Lil Yachty already blown up. Lil Yachty was about to drop his album in 9 days. You know what I'm saying? Lil Yachty was Lil Yachty. Okay, he done did the commercial with Sprite and Targets and,
right.
So so he's already there.
So has it been a lot easier for you? Have you been able to take somewhat of a step back since signing? Not have to be in front of people all the time, or are you still doing this? Are you still making the same moves you were before?
Man, I'm making the moves twice as harder, man, because I believe in once you have a little bit of fire or a little bit of buzz, you want to double that buzz. A lot of artists get a little bit of buzz and they fall back. No, that's the wrong way. You're supposed to go harder. You know what I'm saying? I want to double what I have right now. So I'm just now it's like to the point where I'm looking for, I'm looking for to put the team together. To be honest, it's just me and my producer right now. And I'm talking to a few co-managers, so it's just now I need a real solid team. I'm looking for a proper PR, so
yeah,
it's just a lot that goes into it.
You posted a picture recently of you and 2 Chainz at his listening party. I just want to know, how was that? That seems like a crazy event to be at.
Yeah, and yes, Jules is in that picture also. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that after, but I wanted to get the 2 Chainz over with.
No, but 2 Chainz is a dope, humble. He's a real dude, you know what I'm saying? But, his listening party was dope. I kind of got there late because somebody sent me the wrong address. So when I showed up, he was towards the end of finishing up. But when he got down, I just spoke to him. I said, "What's up?" I said, "Congratulations," and I was just right in front of him the whole time. We talked basketball. This was, I'm from Ohio, so I was just like, "You think the Cavs got a chance?" And he gave me that look, said, "Damn." Even 2 said, "Damn."
He's a basketball player himself, right?
I don't know. I don't. Is he?
I think he went to. I think he graduated college.
Yeah, I thought he was a D1 college player.
You know what I heard? You know what? I think I seen a few Instagram posts about he was talking shit about how he hooped. He still got it. Yeah.
He was on the Kevin Garnett. They have that little series now, after the games or in between the games, and he was on there with I forget what it's called, but Kevin Garnett hosts it, and 2 Chainz hit 7 threes in a row with his sunglasses on and just all his chains and everything. And I was like, that's fucking crazy.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm a big basketball. I play basketball every day, damn near. Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
That's my sanctuary.
Okay, so talk to us about Jules. Were you able to talk to her, or was she just kind of in the photo?
She's busy, she's networking, so every time I run into her, she's always in a big conversation with somebody with a big name. So I went to her party out in South by Southwest. We do the sickest party. She threw the sickest private party out in this farm, 40 minutes away from the South by Southwest venues. So that was pretty dope. And I just keep running into her. So we don't really know each other, but every time I see her, you know, I speak, you know.
Try to at least put your presence
Yeah,
in front of her for a second.
Yeah, you know, I speak. She's doing her
Hopefully
thing,
you
though.
don't get caught. Hopefully you don't get caught in between her and Joe Budden.
Nah, I'm staying out that way.
Yeah.
I'm staying out the way of that.
To your music, I saw on your Instagram, it's like just filled with like fans, you know, playing Pokemon Go and dancing to it and stuff. And it seems almost like, you know, viral in a sense. I guess, when did you start to see that happen and take off?
I would say like 2.5 months ago, like 2.5, 3 months ago. It's just, I posted it, and then a few other NFL players for the Giants posted it too, because I play basketball with them. You know, I play basketball with a few celebrities, you know, so they follow me. So when I'm hooping on the court, they're like, I choose you. Like, that shit catchy. So I'm like, dude, make a video. Stop playing. Like, so they're like, no, I'm going to repost your video of you doing it, because I can't say what you're saying. So it was pretty cool, man. A few of them showed me love. So, and then after that, the kids, I don't know where the hell they get all these followers from. And if they fuck with you, if they buy into you, then you're just kind of good. You're kind of, you know. And then this girl from Russia, she's a YouTuber with like 4 million followers. Out of nowhere, she puts me on her story. And then I gained like 3,000 followers out of nowhere. And I'm like, yo, send me that video. And she like runs Russia right now. So
you're about to be on some government list with all those Russian followers.
What I said. So all my Russian followers, it's like 300, 400 of them. They're like, yo, we want you to come to Russia and perform, please. And then my people like, dude, if you go to Russia, you might not be allowed back in the country.
It's funny. I feel like that's a way like that kind of happens a lot now. Is like, I've noticed it with Fetty Wap a long time ago. I was actually like just browsing that like Musical.ly app where like people can sort of just create like almost like lyric video, or not lyric videos. They just like mouth the words and do a motion or whatever. And it's just like that's how that took off. And it's an interesting sort of like medium, I guess. It's like almost like word of mouth on the internet. Like, it's not quite a Spotify playlist or anything. It's just like a different way, which I feel like is often overlooked of how to get your music spread.
Yes, man. I'm telling you, the Kick Up record that got my deal, I was so I saw a whole new world of Instagram. Like, like these kids that dance, they're so lit. It's like whatever they think is dope is dope. If they don't buy into it, then it's not being played on the radio. It's not played in the club. It's weird.
You think that's kind of cool that you have like the following that you have, like, you know, you got these Russian followers and all that, and it's like you're not necessarily mainstream, but you're like, I have a following, I can walk around with this following and like know that when I put out shit, like, it might not be these mainstream and I might not fit in with all these like underground artists and stuff, but you have your following.
Yeah, it's a nice little core following. So it's just like it's like ages 12 to like 25, and then it's like mostly girls and kids. So it's like I feel like I'm winning, because girls are the ones that make albums go platinum, and then the kids let you know what's dope. So it's like anybody else, I really don't care, because the guys are going to follow whatever the girls are doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why ladies' nights work close.
Exactly. So it's just like, and before I drop a record and I'm focused on that record, I kind of know which direction it's going to go, because that's how I wrote it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I knew when I wrote Friends with Benefits, I knew that the men and women were going to buy into it. I knew when I did Kick Up that the kids were going to tear it apart. I knew when I did Pokemon Go that the stripper, like the nightlife type of girl, was going to buy into it more than like the 9-to-5 girl. And I knew that the kids were going to eat it up because of the type of music that it is. And that's exactly what happened. So like a lot of the strippers are like, I got a fat ass and a nice pair of titties. Like, it's a, you know.
Do you get that insight like after you make the song, or is that kind of like what you go in the song like thinking like, all right, I'm gonna make this song for this demographic of people? I'm
gonna be honest, it's half and half. I really say, how can I stay true to myself, right, and make this song go where I want it to go. So it's basically me staying true to myself, and what you said about I know exactly where I want it to go, so let me write it in that way. And I feel like a lot of artists are scared to have fun on the record, you know, because I rap and I sing, but then I like to have fun, and that Pokemon Go is that it's me having fun. But
not taking yourself too seriously, but also
definitely,
it is your career.
Exactly. No talent on the record whatsoever. Just make sure it's catchy. You know how many girls say I hate that record, but it's so catchy I listen to it. No, that's like, you know, no girl wants to hear some dude hitting it and leaving and don't lose his keys. So they're like, you know, they send me videos every day. It's crazy, but it's a half and half.
On the other side of that, like, so you said it's half and half. You know, we talked about Pokemon Go being one of those songs you had that in mind for. Which is one off 10 Hours Away that you felt you were like, I don't care what this does, I got to put this on here?
Say that one more time.
Said, is there a song off 10 Hours Away that sort of brings that other part back to it, where, like, you know, you talk about Pokemon Go being specifically directed towards this kind of audience, but is there one you did most for yourself that's on 10 Hours Away?
Oh yeah, Got a Feeling, hands down, my story. It's got 1.5 million streams on SoundCloud. That's the record where I really got my respect as like being a rapper. Like I just got discharged from the military and I was real depressed and I was thinking about committing suicide. Like I saved these DMs and I heard your song and it just brought me back. It just, you know, your song put me in this place. Like I listened to Got a Feeling, like that's my favorite record, you know. And that's kind of like where the dudes buy into me. Like, yo, you can really rap. So some of those same guys are like, yo, why did you do a song like Pokemon Go? They don't understand, dude. I want to have fun too. I'm not trying to be serious. My whole I
think that's good. I think a lot of times artists get put in a box, and then they can only make one type of music. So to have that balance, like right from the beginning, is really important.
Yeah. So Got a Feeling is that record, and another dope record on there is Friends with Benefits. You know, that was another dope record. And then, so that's just me singing. But Got a Feeling is probably one of my favorite records.
And I'm sure it's rewarding to see that stream so much when it's such an impactful song for you and like personal song for you.
Yes, because it's real. People like realness, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Before we end this, you want to kind of tell us what you're working on or any shows coming up, anything like that?
Right now I'm trying to get something lined up for this OVO Fest and this Carnival Festival in Toronto, August 4th through 7th. So I'm going to be out there networking, trying to get myself back on a tour. So it's in the works of who that will be with next. And I'm working on my next EP, even though this one isn't done. But I'm working on my next EP, and I'm trying to get Bob Marley's son on the Live in the Moment record off my album. So be ready for that. I just spoke to him.
Which one?
Live in the Moment, the record. KY Manny.
Marley's son.
K Manny.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi Manny, yeah. So I just got hit to him like a month ago. So somebody else keeps bringing him up. So yeah, man. Just working, trying to make things work, and be ready for this lyric video or this music video for Pokemon Go. So that's really
cool, man. We'll be on the lookout. If you ever book a show in KC or something, let us know. We'll try to support as much as possible.
Hell yeah. Thank you. All right, this your boy Yalee, a.k.a. Ohio Boy, but make sure you follow me on that Instagram at YALEE. That's Yalee. And then you can follow me on Twitter and Snapchat at Yalee World, WORLD.
This is the genius, Chris Calico. Cali, baby. Letting you know you're tuned into Tech Nine's Independent Grind on Dash Radio.